Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, beloved friends, and welcome to one more Divine Loss program broadcasted on Kardec radio platforms every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am Correa, and we are very grateful to God, Master Jesus, and the beloved mentors for having prepared this educational moment for us, which we shall take for immortality. Master Jesus exemplified to us that instruction coupled with service is the pathway towards our own redemption. Tonight, as we choose to tune in to the constructive currents of light and hope on the earth, we choose to do both. We choose to instruct ourselves for immortality, and we choose to be of service, because every time we tune in to an edifying conversation, mentor spirits from on high, in the name of God and of Christ, utilize this time, utilize our vibrations and the currents of hope that we are consciously forming to be of use to those in greater suffering than we are in both realms of life. So, congratulations, dear friends, for choosing to tune in to the good, thinking the good, and feeling the good together with the mentors on high. Welcome, beloved friends. It is a delight to multiply the good together. And tonight we shall feel the good closer to our hearts through our study of question 905 from the Spirit's Book by Allan Kardec. Let us then, with much gratitude in our hearts, read the question as well as the answer, comment on it, and think of a therapeutic exercise that we can use to bring the scriptures closer to us. Let us then begin, dear friends. In question 905 of the Spirit's Book, Allan Kardec asks the spirits the following question. Some authors have published works that are beautiful and morally uplifting, which help the progress of humankind, but which they themselves do not take advantage of. As spirits, will the good they have done through their works be taken into account? So, in other words, as we discarnate and move forward to the true dimension of life, do the words, either spoken or written, of the good that we share count, even if we don't feel them? Excellent question. The answer from the illuminated spirits, beloved friends, is as follows. Morality without action is like the seed without the sowing. What use is the seed if you do not make it grow in order to feed you? Those persons are guiltier because they possess the intelligence to comprehend, having not practiced the maxim they offered to others, they fail to harvest the fruits. So we, dear friends, are very thankful to the mentor spirits because they are very straightforward in calling us to take responsibility for the much we know. Master Jesus has already explained to all of us that those to whom much has been given, much will also be asked. Those of us who are blessed with the treasures of Spiritism, especially English, because English crosses all linguistic frontiers on the earth. We are considered millionaires of the spirit, in the words of Chico Xavier. Those of us who are bilingual and have direct access to the works of Spiritism by Chico Xavier and several spirits in the original language, Portuguese, are all the more responsible for multiplying the talents that have been granted to us. Dear friends, as our beloved friend Dr. Vanessa Anceloni and mentor Joseph have reminded all of us many times, the percentage of spiritists who are able to do the works in English in the United States and English speaking languages is still very, very small. Thus, those of us who are tuned in to Kardec Radio, who have access to this beautiful life transforming literature, are not here by chance. For certain, we were trained, prepared, cared for prior to reincarnating in order to take the responsibility to share what we know. How much, though, are we sharing? Hmm. Yes, dear friends, in the book Liberation, we learn that in the lower realms there are such things like courtrooms, and they have an apparatus that measure our vibratory tone. There is a true account of an intellectual who, as the message has told us here, as the question has presented to us here, had read many edifying books, had studied many edifying works as well. However, he refrained from sharing those works with others while incarnated. Once he discarnated, he saw himself in the lower realms, and when examined by the apparatus in the lower realms courtroom, that individual, brother of ours, was classified as a miser. And one may think, but Carol, come on, isn't this too harsh? We are not even referring to financial resources. How come, Carol, was this brother of ours considered a miser? Because knowledge is a wealth, dear friends. And Spiritism is truly transformative. If we think about when we started learning Spiritism and now, how much our perspective in life or of life continues to change, we can measure how valuable this is. So, therapeutic question for you and I, beloved friend, for all of us. Have we been open to sharing these treasures with others? Scale 0 to 10. 0. No, Carol, people don't even know what we are referring to. Or 10. Yes, Carol, we share it all the time. If we think, well, we are not in a country currently that is open to Spiritism, perhaps, beloved friend, it is up to us to have the courage to speak up for the truth. on behalf of the enlightening truth that touches our hearts. Does that mean that we are going to force people to embrace Spiritism? Of course not. But we are going to allow the light that has been given to us to permeate our actions. So we are indeed, dear friends, going to walk the extra mile. And when people see us, they may even believe in the back of their heads that we are quote unquote strange. And they may not understand why we act in such a peculiar way. But our actions, hopefully, because we are generous, because we are patient, because we walk the extra mile, will spark curiosity in our brothers and sisters. And in sparking the curiosity in the future, they may be open to learning more. And we can also use social media to spread messages of hope. We can also look at each other at work, at home, in all the areas of circles of action that we are part of as children of God. And we can ask ourselves, what is it that God wishes for us to give to the person that is interacting with us at that moment? Because no interaction is per chance. Even when we are in a business meeting, we learned with our friend Vanessa Anceloni and mentor Joseph, we can pray, yes, for the guardian angels of our colleagues, for the meeting to be inspirational, for healings to occur in the silence of our hearts. We can pray in gratitude for God to having placed these individuals in our lives. Before we send an email, we can also pray, for instance, hoping that our guardian angels and those of others can utilize us as instruments of hope to one another. So every action we take, beloved friends, can thus become sacred. Not sacred in a sense of formulaic or ritualistic, but sacred in the sense that we will be acting out of love. And this is when the seeds that we have received, as the spirits explain in question 905, will bear fruits. So, are we willing to give the fruits that satiate our spiritual hunger to others? God, Master Jesus, and the mentors are counting on each and every one of us. So feel free to share, dear friend, on the comments how we could together as a community spread the good through our thoughts, through our words, through our actions, through our conduct. How is it that we can multiply the seeds of love, of heavenly divine love that have been given to us? Let us inspire one another and share right here our thoughts and suggestions. Let us continue thinking of the good and spreading the good, because we know that God, Master Jesus, and the mentors see us as instruments of divine light and hope. Feeling these many beautiful blessings, dear friends, we wish you a beautiful evening, a very inspirational rest of the week, and we look forward to seeing you again next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another Divine Loss program. Bye for now.